Today we're going to show you how to prep your concrete floors before you apply an epoxy floor coating. The first way I'm going to show you is with muriatic acid. You can get muriatic acid at your local home supply store. There are a couple things you need to know about it. One, you need to use the proper safety gear. It comes with instructions on the bottle. Our specific muriatic acid says it's 25 parts of water to 1 part of muriatic acid. And we're going to clean this small concrete block, so we only need a small amount. The two main reasons you would want to use muriatic acid to clean your concrete floors before applying an epoxy coating is oil stains or stains of any type, or to etch the surface for a better abrasion when you apply the coating. The first thing I'm going to do is get my safety gear. These are acid resistant gloves, safety goggles. This is a regular surgical mask. Get them anywhere. This is a respirator that you can use to help with the fumes. Today, since we're using such a small amount of muriatic acid, I'm going to go ahead and use the surgical mask. You, of course, want to follow the instructions on the back of your bottle. The first thing I'm going to do is put on my mask and my glasses, and then I'm going to put my gloves on. We pre-mixed a little bit of muriatic acid with water. Our muriatic acid said to do 25 parts water to 1 part of acid. You're going to go ahead and pour it really close so that it doesn't splash. You're going to let it sit for about 30 seconds till it starts to bubble. We're going to start scrubbing with our acid resistant wire brush after it starts to foam. The muriatic acid and this wire brush should take most stains like oil right off. When you're done scrubbing the stain, you're going to go ahead and take plain water to rinse the muriatic acid away. Once again, you're going to do it very low to the concrete so it doesn't splash, and you're basically going to rinse it away until the bubbles are gone. After your concrete is clean and dry, you can go ahead and apply your epoxy coating. As you can see, our stain is gone. I'm now going to tell you about a second way that you can clean your concrete before applying epoxy. This way involves using your safety gear, your respirator, and your safety goggles, an industrial sander, and anywhere between 60 and 600 grit sandpaper. The way that you would determine what to use on your concrete is if it's a smoother surface that isn't very dirty, possibly a newer concrete, you can use a smoother, higher grit like a 600. If it's really dirty and you think needs a lot of etching, you would use a much rougher grit like a 60. After you're done sanding your floor with your industrial sander, you're going to go ahead and take your vacuum. You're going to vacuum up all the dust. After that's done, you're ready to apply your AeroMarine 321 epoxy.
Today we are demonstrating the use of AeroMarine 321 epoxy as a concrete coating. Using epoxy as a concrete coating provides a very durable, chemical resistant, water resistant, and decorative coating for many concrete applications. Concrete driveways and concrete garages are one of the most common. You'll see here that I have AeroMarine 300 epoxy and 21 in gray. I am going to mix that today and apply a primer coat to the concrete slab that we have here. The 321 in gray follows the same mix ratio as standard 321. It is a 2-to-1 mix ratio. As we have mentioned before, when you mix the epoxy, you always want to use a 2-container process or a double mix process. You want to scrape the sides of the original container and the bottom, ensuring that you remove as much product as possible from the sides. The product will cling to the sides of the container. If you skip this process and mix in one container, it's possible that you'll have unmixed product. Small, minute amounts of unmixed product. At best, this will leave small veins of variations in the gloss. At worst, it will leave veins of uncured tacky epoxy on your garage floor. So after mixing for 2 or 3 minutes, we transfer the contents into the second container. Clean mixing stick Mix again. 30 seconds to a minute is plenty. Now we're going to take the mixed epoxy, transfer it to a rolling pan.
Why?
So that we may roll the epoxy onto the concrete. When using a roller with epoxy, it's best to use a short nap roller. This is so that the epoxy, which is more viscous than paint, does not pull up and pull out the nap in the roller. Okay, first coat is done. Work life on 321 is usually 30 to 40 minutes. Bear in mind that the concrete slab acts as a heat sink, so you may see an hour, depending on ambient temperature, before the epoxy starts to set. What we're going to do now is allow this coat to set. If we've got sufficient coverage, if it looks good to us, then we're going to go ahead and move forward with this coat. If not, we're going to add a second coat. Bear in mind that you should see 200 square feet of coverage per gallon. You should monitor this while you're going. If you're not getting 200 square feet of coverage per gallon, you're putting on too much epoxy per coat and you're wasting your epoxy. So we're going to allow this to set to the point that it's tacky, and then we will broadcast the color flakes on top of that. Okay, our second coat of epoxy is now starting to get tacky. We've applied this several hours ago, and it's just tacky to the touch. The reason we want to do this before we distribute or broadcast our color flakes on the epoxy is it's easier to walk on when it's it's less slippery than when it's freshly applied. Application of the color flakes is kind of up to you. You can do it very lightly, you can do it very heavily. Okay, we're looking good here. We are, by the way, using 1/4-inch color flakes. These come in 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, also come in 1/32 of an inch if you're looking for a finish that looks very much like granite. Once we're done with this, we're going to allow this to set up overnight to fully cure, and then tomorrow we're going to come back and we're going to sweep the loose flakes off of it, and we're going to apply our top coat. Several hours ago, we applied the color flakes to our second coat of 321. The 321 is now tack-free. The color flakes are, have bonded to the 321. We put the original prime coat on with the gray 300 resin with the 21 hardener. We're going to do the top coat now with clear 321. We have started mixing that here. Okay, that's our first coat of the clear top coat. We will wait until this gets just past the point that it's tacky, where it's safe to walk on it again. That's 6 to 8 hours from now, or let it go overnight. Put another coat on tomorrow morning. You're going to put on 2 coats of top coat to go along with 2 coats of primer. That's 4 coats total on your garage. Once the final top coat goes on, you don't want to drive on it for 48 hours. You don't want to walk on it or let it get wet for 24 hours. That's it. You can find out more information about this on our website at aeromarineproducts.com.